They say the moment you lose someone doesn't happen when they walk away. It happens when they look at you like you're something to hide. That moment hit me at gate 17 of an airport, when the woman I loved turned and whispered, "Don't walk with me. You'll embarrass me." And, just like that, 3 years of love dissolved into a single sentence. Her name was Clara. We used to laugh at how opposite we were. I built furniture from real wood. She built dreams from filters and lighting presets. For a while, it worked. My world was slow, grounded. Hers sparkled for strangers on screens. But 6 months ago, she quit her marketing job to go all in on being an influencer. We made a deal. I'd cover the bills for 6 months while she built her empire. She'd use her savings for her business. It sounded like support. It turned into sponsorship. Her business expenses started to look suspiciously like designer handbags and luxury skincare. Suddenly, I wasn't her partner, I was her production crew. Every dinner was content. Every trip was a collaboration. Every conversation was something she could turn into a post. And me? I was background noise, useful until I wasn't. The trip to Europe was supposed to be her final push. 3 weeks abroad with her influencer friends. Her words, not mine. I told myself to be patient. I told myself this was temporary. But the truth? She'd already left me months before her flight. The morning of her flight, I carried her 3 massive suitcases through the terminal, each one heavier than the last, full of clothes she'd never wear twice. She was radiant, rehearsed, perfect for the camera. And me, in my old hoodie and jeans, I didn't fit her feet anymore. When she saw her friends Lena and Vera, both dressed like Fashion Week models, I watched her face change. Panic. Embarrassment. Then the whisper, "Don't walk with me. You'll embarrass me in front of them." I just stood there, hands still on her luggage cart. In that instant, I understood. I wasn't the man she loved. I was the unfiltered version of a life she was trying to escape. I looked at her flawless makeup, empty eyes, and said quietly, "You're right. I wouldn't want to do that." Then I let go of the cart. "Have a great trip, Clara. No drama. No scene. Just peace." Because sometimes silence hits harder than revenge ever could. I walked out of that airport lighter than I'd felt in years. And before I even made it to the parking lot, I knew exactly what I had to do. That drive home? The most productive 60 minutes of my life. I didn't want a screaming match or a public breakup. I wanted closure by precision. First stop, the dealership. The luxury SUV she flaunted on her page? Mine on paper and in payment. By the afternoon, it was sold. Step 1, done. Then home, our house. Or rather, my house, filled with her ghosts. Her skincare army on the bathroom counter. Her ring lights in the spare room. It wasn't a home anymore, it was a stage. So, I called a removal company. I paid double to have every trace of her gone within 24 hours. By sunset the next day, the place was spotless. It smelled like lemon cleaner and peace. With her gone, I rebuilt my space from scratch. Brought out the oak coffee table I made years ago. She'd hated it because it didn't photograph well. Bought a couch that was actually comfortable, not just aesthetic. Turned her studio into a home workshop. Then I handled the digital side. Changed every password. Removed her from my bank accounts. And the website she used for her brand? I didn't delete it, that would have been too easy. I replaced every image with a single photo, the receipt from the junk removal service. Below it, I typed, "Brand undergoing reconstruction. Check back soon." Poetic justice, printed in 12-point font. The day before her flight home, I sent her one email. Subject, "Regarding your return. Clara, as you requested, I'm no longer a part of your life. Your belongings are in storage, address, and code attached. The car has been sold. The locks have been changed. Consider this your clean slate. Adam." Then I booked my own flight. A 2-week motorcycle trip through the desert. Just me, the road, and a silence that didn't demand to be posted. When I finally turned my phone back on 5 days later, I was met with chaos. Hundreds of missed calls. Dozens of emails. And the kind of voice messages that sound more like storms than words. She had landed, waited for me, called everyone she knew, and finally showed up at my locked door with 3 suitcases and nowhere to go. Her friends? suddenly unavailable. Her parents had to drive 2 hours to rescue their social media success story. And when the neighbors saw her crying on my porch, mascara streaked, luggage toppled, it wasn't humiliation. It was reality finally catching up to the fiction. The next day she posted long, tearful stories about being abandoned and betrayed. She tried to paint me as a villain. But the truth had already leaked. People knew what she said to me at that airport. Her followers stopped engaging. Her sponsors went silent. And when she finally logged back into her website and saw that photo, the receipt, her empire reduced to a transaction, she took everything offline. Her brand, her friendships, her influence, gone. It's been 4 months since then. The house feels different now, quieter, warmer. I fill it with things that last. Solid wood, real laughter, honest silence. Someone told me recently that Clara's back living with her parents. Her Instagram is mostly old photos and vague quotes about healing. I don't feel anger anymore, just relief. Because she saw me as the background to her story, when in truth, I was the foundation. And when the foundation walks away, the whole pretty house collapses. I'm not telling this story for revenge. I'm telling it because some people will love your reflection, but not your reality. And the moment they ask you to dim yourself to fit their image, that's your sign to walk away. If you've ever had to rebuild yourself from the ashes of someone else's illusion, you know exactly how this feels. Tell me, would you have walked away too?